All right. So this is AEW Dynamite review with Miggy Reyes and Smoke and Moda.
What up?
This is March 16th, 2022, St. Patrick's Day Slam. So it starts off with JR saying, "Hey yo." So rest in peace, Scott Hall, who passed away this weekend. And opening match, Adam Cole and Red Dragon versus Hangman Page and Jurassic Express. So Jungle Boy shows off his stuff early, got the crowd really pumped up. They did an early tag to Luchasaurus, and they did something different where Luchasaurus ended up taking the heat this time. And that doesn't really happen that often. So it looks like they're working on the on Luchasaurus's left leg. They do the hot tag to Hangman Page, who goes wild for a bit, and the crowd was like super, super hot. Like they were really into it already. Jungle Boy tags in and he does his dive over the top, wipes out all three people. Then they go into the spot of the match for me. They did a triple moonsault off of one turnbuckle. So Jungle Boy is at the top turnbuckle, does the moonsault back into the ring. Hangman Page is like on the same top turnbuckle as him. They're sharing the top turnbuckle, and then he does it a moonsault off the top to the outside. And then Luchasaurus is on the other side of the turnbuckle. He does it from the apron onto the floor. So I thought that was pretty unique. So then they start to, after that, they get the heat onto Jungle Boy. Then they get the hot tag onto Luchasaurus, and then Luchasaurus just choke slams Bobby Fish onto O'Reilly and then does a standing moonsault. They try to go for the Doomsday device, and O'Reilly ducks, and Jungle Boy jumps straight into a huge super kick by Adam Cole, which it was that spot looked pretty cool too. Like just imagine like O'Reilly was on Luchasaurus's shoulders and he ducked, and then that's when Jungle Boy just kind of jumped over him into that super kick.
You
It was
need really
really,
good
really
timing to make that
yeah, it was
not go bad.
they timed that so well. It looked so good. Um, then they do the heel hook, and that gets broken up by Adam Page, who just kind of threw Adam Cole onto him, onto Kyle O'Reilly at least. So Page and Cole face off where Page hits the dead eye. Everyone basically comes in and they all wipe each other out. They do a double doomsday device. So I think who was it? So Page and Luchasaurus are holding both members up of Red Dragon. I don't know, they're holding Cole and O'Reilly up, and then Jungle Boy like runs off the top, and then he double clotheslines them. So that's the double Doomsday device. And then they pin one of them. I forgot who they would pin, but Bobby Fish breaks up the pin. Adam Cole blind tags in, and then Red Dragon hit total elimination, which is like the high-low thing. And then Adam Cole hits Jungle Boy with the boom, and then they pin Jungle Boy for the win. 13:56 was the time I got on here. This was a great opener. But if there's one gripe that I have, I do not like Red Dragon's total elimination finisher.
You
It's
don't?
literally, dude, it is literally just Bobby Fish sweeping the back of Jungle Boy's legs and then Kyle O'Reilly doing like a leg lariat. Like, how is that a finish
It
for
looks cool
anything?
though.
Like, yeah, because they do it like super fast. Like, ooh, that's so cool, dude. That that finish sucks. I don't like. I prefer their other one where they just do the kick to the back of the head and then it's a brain buster. At least that one's like makes more sense than someone literally just like getting tripped
It
and
doesn't
then
make
it was like, dude,
it
it's just
does make sense, but I'll give it a pass just because they make it look cool.
I don't give that a pass. I don't give that a pass at all. I do not like that move. But other than that, dude, this match was so awesome, and the crowd was what's going crazy for it.
Yeah, this definitely was. I'm not for sure if I'd call it the match of the night. I think I might call it the match of the night for me actually. I just think everyone worked so well together in this. Great to see not technically Undisputed Era, but basically UE and AEW back together. And I'm really happy with the booking decision to have Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish go over. I think they definitely needed something to like help them after their losses from the pay per view. So yeah,
I'm surprised that they pinned Jungle Boy. But I mean, I guess if anyone's gonna take the pin, Jungle Boy probably is the one to take the pin.
Usually it's Luchasaurus. I feel
Really,
like
they Cole has pinned Jungle Boy almost every single time, and I don't think I've seen Jungle Boy get like a one-on-one win over Cole yet. But like, I
yeah,
guess they can play up that Cole has Jungle Boy's number.
yeah, but I think like in more times, especially like these big man matches, usually Luchasaurus is the one taking the pin. I think just
Usually
because
they win. It's like if both of
I
them aren't taking the pin, usually they just win.
I guess like trying to think back to the last time they lost. What was that one time? It was like the Elite versus Jurassic Express. Daniel back when Danielson was still a face and Christian Cage. I think
Hmm.
like that was probably the last time I'm thinking back to when Luchasaurus took the pin. But yeah, actually, I think Luchasaurus has been improving quite a bit since
I
like
mean,
getting the
Jurassic
belt.
Express is just so over. Like the
That
crowd
too.
loves them so much.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
a
they had to put the titles on them. Like that's why the Lucha Bros just lost. But like, dude, the crowd just they're so beloved. But
yeah, it
next program definitely it's Jurassic Express and Red Dragon.
has to be.
Yeah. All right. So then it was a backstage segment. Team Taz is just mad that Keith Lee is getting booked on Rampage. That's what I mean. That's I don't know why they're mad. Like, he's like, you're trying to steal a spotlight. Like, pro, Tony Khan is booking the matches on Rampage. What do you want him to do? Like, not compete? Like, he has to get his money somehow. Like, come
Just
on,
have
bro.
him on
Like,
Dark like half the other guys on the
yeah, like,
roster.
what, I don't. The reasoning for why they're getting mad at him is stupid, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
they
All
just
right, next
need an
up,
excuse for a feud.
yep, it's Bryan Danielson and John Moxley versus Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta. I thought Wheeler Yuta was gonna turn on the best friends. That was my opening thought before the match started. So Regal is on commentary. He calls Dan Allison a skeleton wafer or something. He was so funny. So Moxley jumps Chuck Taylor before the bell. Danielson and Moxley just beat the crap out of Yuta. Like Wheeler Yuta's chest is so red at this point, and it's literally just 2 minutes into the match. Chuck Taylor makes a tag and has a single leg crab. Danielson then makes the tag, and then they just beat the crap out of Chuck Taylor. Danielson puts the Indian Deathlock in. I don't know what that is actually. I can't remember, but they do a super. He gets superplexed by John Moxley. Yuta makes a hot tag, and he does eventually hit like a really nice German suplex with a beautiful bridge to it, but like they just beat him down after. Mox and Danielson hit hard attack on Yuta. Moxley hits a paradigm shift on Chuck Taylor on the floor. Yuta was eating so many of Bryan Danielson's kicks at this point. Like, dude, that chest was it was red.
Messed up.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of Wheeler Yuta so much, and he still kicks out at two. Danielson just stomps Wheeler Yuta's head, and then Moxley chokes him out. It was 11:44, and maybe about like 1 to 2 minutes was like Chuck Taylor and Yuta getting offense, and it was straight like 9 minutes of them just beating the crap out of these guys. So Yuta goes to walk with best friends, but then he comes back to the ring, offers a handshake to William Regal, and then Regal just smacked the shit out of him. Like it was such a loud slap, like probably like blew out a tooth or something. It was a hard slap. And then Yuta was like super pissed and got in his face, but I didn't catch what was said between Regal and Yuta, and then Yuta just kind of walks away. So I don't know. Maybe that's Yuta getting accepted into their stable or something,
I
but
just seen Brian Danielson with the biggest like smile on his
yeah,
face.
he's like laughing sadistically at Yuta after he got pelted in the
Yeah.
face. But like, I'd be happy to see Yuta join their stable. Like,
Yeah, I wonder where they're going with this because everyone Brian Danielson called out before Yuta's with the best friends. Daniel Garcia is with his new stable, which we'll get to later, and Lee
Lee
Moriarty
Moriarty,
gone, missing on milk cartons.
probably on Dark or Dark Elevation, but we don't watch that anymore.
Yeah, so we can't really say. He might also be working some other like smaller like indie
Yeah.
promotions, but we don't follow those either, so we're pretty not sure where he is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still excited to see what's going to be the future for Danielson and Moxley.
Yeah,
Very
this
excited.
this looks like a great stable forming. And also, I mean, they made the right call by letting Mox and Danielson get like most of the offense in, just to, like make him look really good. But I also thought Yuta looked pretty good when he wasn't getting the shit kicked into him
What
because
Yuta had some nice stuff to him. They did give him a bit, but he took a beating. But like they made the beating like look like he was really tough and that he managed to get out of that beating until Moxley just choked him out.
yeah, he had a pretty nice sequence when he did like that drop kick dive, and then when he did that like, comeback off the ropes. That looked good and probably his only source of offense. But yeah, even just like selling all that Mox and Danielson had to give him, yeah, I think he definitely probably came out looking a lot better than he did like going in.
Yep. So I do look forward to see what happens there. All right, next up, FTR interview. They mentioned how Tully was checked out, so that's why they fired him. I heard that they might be bringing in Bret Hart. I don't know. Um, and then the Bucks come in and they antagonize FTR and then they walk away. So I mean, it they I heard that like Bret Hart could be coming in and being the new manager for FTR.
Yeah,
But like if that was what they were trying to play in that interview, then okay. But other than that, I don't see the point of this interview.
there really wasn't, I guess, maybe that subtle hint to Bret Hart coming in, but other than that, yeah, I don't know why this was here.
Yeah. So then, acclaimed doing a promo. Team Taz come in, say yeah, go beat him up, and then Swerve comes in, and then I literally think they just use this to get Swerve on TV.
I was
Yeah,
lost. They threw in way too many people in
yeah, I didn't
this,
care.
and I was like, okay, that's over.
All right, so Jericho segment. I should have timed this, honestly, but I didn't. So Jericho comes out to explain what happened last week. His gimmick is he's a sports entertainer and not a pro wrestler. And holy crap, when he said he was a sports entertainer, they booed the shit out of that.
Yeah,
Like they did not like that one bit. So it works. He said that 2.0 was a shit name. I mean, I do kind of agree.
how dare you guys?
And he's like, now they'll go by their real names because they use real names there. So it's Matt Menard and D'Angelo Parker.
I don't even know. Chris Jericho isn't even his real name. What are
Yeah,
you going with?
it's actually funny. Chris Jericho's not his real name. And he's just like, dude, it's Chris Irving. All right.
If
So,
he changed his name to Chris Irving, I'd probably turn off the TV at that point.
dude, Matt Menard, that got me. I mean, I'm fine with D'Angelo Parker. I guess it's fine. But like, or maybe it was Angelo Parker. Dude, I didn't, dude, I did not care.
I was kind of zoned out
I
halfway
like
through
their other
this.
names better. Matt Lee and Jeff Parker just rolls off the tongue way better.
It's so much easier to remember.
Yeah. Uh, I also noted here I should have timed this segment. Like it was like a whole lot of. I mean, they're just a sports entertainer. That's the whole gist of it. That's their gimmick is that they're sports entertainer. It was funny when Daniel Garcia's just like, well, if you're gonna call yourself a sports entertainer, then I'm a sports entertainer. I was like, so
This
it was so
was
stupid.
probably one of the dumbest things I've heard, like in a promo segment that lasted this long. And the thing is, I
Yeah,
guarantee you, nothing's gonna change about like what they do in the ring or
yeah,
anything like that. They're just calling themselves sports entertainers to get heat. But other
yeah.
than that, that's like how far the gimmick goes.
That's basically it in my eyes. You just hit it on the nail right there. All right,
The
Serena Deeb promo
wait, one
says she'll
thing
end
I
Shida's career. Okay,
wanted
go ahead.
to bring up was one funny thing noted on Twitter about the segment was when Jericho was commenting uh, about the car crash that Daniel Garcia went into. Many people were clarifying, like, he had to specify the date or the year being 2019 because when you say January 6th, that kind of rings a bell, especially for Jericho, about another incident that went on. Do you get what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, so one
We
thing
don't do
I.
politics here, all right?
All
We
right,
do only wrestling.
I'll keep off political Twitter.
All right. So Deeb says she'll end Shida's career. Whatever. Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky for TNT Championship. Wardlow doing the hook thing and turning his back on his opponent. That's what I wrote down. I don't know who did it first, but it was funny. And then they pointed that out in commentary too. So Wardlow just overpowered Sky. Sky goes outside, and then PVZ, so that's Paige Van Zandt, blocks Wardlow's path. And then her husband, I don't know his name, and I don't really care to remember his name, just gets into Wardlow's face. And then just turns around and he starts making out with Paige like right in front of him. And then Wardlow was going, I thought Wardlow was just going to deck him. Because if I was Wardlow, I would just deck him. But instead, he just tries to go for a power bomb, and then Sky just wipes him out, and then he gets control, and then he gets the heat through commercial break. And then when he comes back to break, Wardlow's like kind of just lying down on the ropes, and I noted it looks like he's about to sneeze. Like his facial expression looked like he was about to sneeze because I think Sky was talking trash to him. He was supposed to get mad, but I was like, is he trying to sneeze? So Wardlow starts his comeback by tossing Sky around. Wardlow hits a huge spine buster, like choke slam kind of thing. And then he does the symphony. He hits the first one on Sky, then hits the two more after that. And then Dan Lambert gets up, tries to distract Wardlow, and then doesn't really do it. Sean Spears comes out, and then he legitimately distracts Wardlow. And then Wardlow comes like to the outside, and then MJF just like pushes Wardlow into the ring post, and then so Wardlow's like dazed, and Sky rolls up Wardlow for the win. Was it roll up?
Yeah,
I heard that it was a roll up, right?
it was an ugly roll up, but a roll up
I
nonetheless.
okay, because like I think on Rampage they said that Sky like hit the finish. I don't know, I heard somewhere that like Sky hit the finish. I'm just like, I don't think he did. It was just a roll up, right?
I
And, like I
recall it
second guessed
was.
myself.
I
It was
recall
just a
it
roll
being
up.
just a roll up.
Well, I wrote Sky rolls up Wardlow for the win, so I'm gonna trust that.
Okay.
Listen, I didn't care. The only thing that stuck out with me was the fact that like this is just a Wardlow MJF thing. Like the finish like was so unimportant to me that I didn't know how it actually ended. I just wrote a roll up, and then I can't even remember if that was correct or not. Whatever. Time was 9:19. Yeah, keep the title on Sky. MJF and Wardlow start their feud. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think we were both predicting that this would really just be a Warlow MJF segment that just so happens to have the TNT title in it.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, this is heading as expected, and this is a good storyline, good feud we're going to be watching. So looking forward to this. The only thing I'll say is that I'm hoping Sky looks better in his next title defense. I mean, he won the title due to a lot of interference. He retains the title with a lot of interference, and
yeah.
yeah, just kind of hoping to make the title and Sky look a lot better.
Does not make Sky look good in my opinion at all. Considering that everyone else that won, even the heels, all won clean. And then like this, like I guess just too much interference
I
for
mean,
these wins.
technically, Sammy won with like Fuego interference. And by that I mean Fuego showed up and got decked completely and contributed nothing to the distraction.
Okay. After match, uh Paige Van Zandt's husband throws his elbows out. Wardlow catches MJF and Spears hits Wardlow with the chair. Then everyone just like beats the crap out of Wardlow. MJF pays Dan Lambert like a wad of cash or something. Sean Spears hits Wardlow in the head with the chair. MJF punches him with the dynamite diamond ring. And then they went to commercial as MJF is yelling at Wardlow. And commentary noted that because Wardlow has been working for MJF the whole time he's been in AEW, that Wardlow has no friends, and that's why no one came out to save him. Which I think is like nice that they mentioned that.
Just rub it in a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, can't wait for this feud.
Yep.
Jade Cargill segment. That's all I wrote.
I didn't write anything down for that.
Well, it was a segment. I don't care what happened. All right, Private Party versus the Hardys. Tony Schiavone, first time ever getting to call a Hardy match. So good for him. I guess you can't hear it, but I'm clapping. All right. Jeff Hardy gets a super loud ovation, and every single time they did like a double team move, it just got a huge pop from the crowd. Jeff gets all his stuff in, and then when Matt tags in, then Private Party regain control. Commercial break, and they just get the heat off Matt. And then I thought it was kind of rude. There was very loud "We want Jeff" chants. Did you hear this?
That I did not.
It was they were loud. It was just like "We want Jeff, we want Jeff" as Matt Hardy's taking a beating. And I'm just like, they did not give like when Private Party was like beating the crap out of Matt Hardy, they did not give a shit.
Yeah.
Like they just wanted Jeff Hardy to tag in and see Jeff Hardy do his moves. That's all they cared about. That's all this crowd cared about.
Yeah.
Like they just wanted to see like the Hardy Boy maneuvers. They didn't care about anything else. So like when they were getting this heat, it was dead. Um, so Private Party do start imitating like Hardy Boy maneuvers, but Matt counters into like the maneuver they try to do was the one where like someone's down on their knees and then the other jumps off their back and then they kind of like clothesline hit the other person on the turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so as I think Isaiah Cassidy's jumping off Quenn's back, Matt Hardy catches him and then hits a side effect on top of Mark Quinn. And then he makes the hot tag to Jeff, and crowd went so crazy for this
Yeah.
for this hot tag. They really just wanted to see Jeff Hardy like go
Basically.
wild. And he does go wild, then goes for I thought was he might have been going for a swanton bomb. He might have been going for like his like just a splash or something, but Mark Quinn crotches him. They go for gin and juice, and then Hardy stops it. And then I thought Jeff Hardy was going to do that swanton bomb, but instead he just hit a splash. So that's why I don't know what Hardy was going for originally. And I was like, why? Like, it was so weird that he hit a splash. He and then doesn't get the win with it. And eventually they hit the Twisted Fate into the Swanton Bomb combo for the win. 12-19. Literally, like all people cared about was just the Hardy Boys getting their
Just
stuff in.
just the Jeff parts.
Yeah, specifically Jeff Hardy. They just only cared about Jeff Hardy, and that was all it was for. After match, Andrade's music hits, and he comes out with Butcher and Blade. Sting and Darby make the save before they can get beat down. And to be honest, like when the Andrade family office, I think is what they're called, surrounded the ring, they had three people on one side of the ring, and it was like I think Butcher and like both Private Party members, and then Andrade was in the back of the ring, and then I don't know who was in the front, and then Jose was to the right. And I'm just like, why don't they just like beat the crap out of Jose and then they walk out through the right? Like that's like the most logical place to go if you're trying to
Yeah.
escape. So that was my thought process, and I wrote that down. But whatever. I mean, I guess you can have Sting and Darby make the save, like whatever. And then after that, then they start playing some dramatic music as the cage is coming down, and then you go to commercial. So they're just setting up for the next match.
Yeah, overall, I thought Private Party versus Hardys, it was a decent match. They got the right call for the Hardys to look good on their debut. Got some nice work in. Happy to see Jeff in action again. And yeah, I guess just kind of the part where it all has to still be tied to the AFO,
Yeah.
it kind of just like drags it down because it's like no one really cared about this stable to begin with. I I don't know if they'll continue with this for like how long, but we'll see. Also, small thing, but kind of happy to see Mark Quinn back in like an actual match instead of just like kind of watching Isaiah Cassidy.
Yeah. I think Marquine's probably the more athletic of the two.
I'd say so.
Okay. So Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for the AEW Women's Championship inside a steel cage. There was a woman's Mario, mariachi band for Thunder Rosa. I don't know why I struggled with that pronunciation. A very loud reaction for Thunder Rosa in her hometown of, where were they in?
San
San
Antonio,
Antonio.
I think.
Okay, in their hometown of San Antonio. And then when Britt Baker comes out, there were legitimate boos. Like normally Baker is cheered. I actually heard some boos from her, so that was nice. Uh, I don't know how like Britt Baker can want to be like she's a bad heel if she's getting cheered. And like she's saying, I'm so good because I'm getting cheered. Like you're a heel, you're supposed to get booed. I don't know why she takes pride in getting cheered. Like that's not what you're supposed to take pride in as a heel, but whatever. So that's my gripe there with Baker. So Britt tries to escape the cage, and then in my head, I'm just thinking, I thought you could only win by pinfall and submission in AEW cage matches. Like escaping the cage doesn't do anything. And then commentary confirmed it. So
Hmm.
don't know why she's trying to escape the cage. Thunder Rosa throws Baker into the cage. Britt is already bleeding at this point, and then Rosa uses the cage as like a cheese grater for Baker's head. It looked really gross.
That was a fun spot.
Yeah, commercial break. Britt Baker gets heat on Rosa. Baker brings in a bunch of steel chairs. And then somehow, I guess through the commercial break, I guess Thunder Rosa started bleeding too. Rosa starts to rally. It's a crappy looking stunner. Looking for the Fire Thunder driver on exposed chair. I put this in quotation marks and then said, what the fuck does this even mean? Like, exposed chair. It's a steel chair. Isn't all of it already exposed?
As opposed to those covered chairs.
Yeah, like I was so confused. Like I don't know I think it was Excalibur that said that, and I was
That
like,
sounds like
what?
Excalibur.
I was like, what the fuck are you saying, bro? So Britt Baker accidentally hits the ref, and then the ref just gets wiped out again because he got shoved off into the floor. So ref is dead for like the remainder of like the 15 minutes of this match, or I guess 10. I don't know how long was left into it. So ref is wiped out. They do the false finish where Rosa hits her finisher, but there's no ref. So Rosa goes top rope, and then Baker hits her with a steel chair. Chairs stack are near the corner, and then Baker hits an avalanche air raid crash onto the chairs. Aubrey Edwards comes running in, and she's the new ref for the match. So there, I noted here, louder Thunder Rosa chants than DMD chants, which I thought was very thankful. Which I was very thankful for. Baker sets up two chairs on top of four chairs. And then here's my spot of the match. Uh, Thunder Rosa basically just smacks Britt Baker's head against the cage, and then Baker falls on her like Eiffel Tower contraption of chairs. And then still not the finish. Baker grabs some thumbtacks. And I'm just like, wow, Britt Baker really wants to go through these thumbtacks, huh? And but she ends up back body drops Thunder Rosa into them. I was just like, okay. So I guess they want Rosa going through the attacks now as opposed to Baker. But that was what was going on through my head. And then Britt Baker goes for lockjaw, and Thunder Rosa starts smacking Britt Baker's hand into the thumbtacks. And I'm just like, oh, that's so fucking gross. Like, oh my God, it's so painful. Like like full force slamming her hand onto the thumbtacks. I'm just like, oh, I was cringing so much. I do not like that. And then she just picks Britt Baker up and then power bombs her into them. And then that's when I knew, okay, so I guess Britt Baker really does love thumbtacks and wants to go through them anytime she gets the chance, huh?
She loves them.
She really does love them. And then Thunder Rosa grabs Britt Baker, who was kind of like crawling away or something, and then hits her with the Fire Thunder Driver. She was near the tacks. I don't know if she actually hit them on a couple tacks, but she hits them near the tacks. And we have a new champ.
When Aubrey went like down to make the count for the pin, it looked like Aubrey took like most of the tacks, like when she went to the
Yeah.
mat. And I was like,
She
wait a
put
minute.
she posted a picture with thumbtacks in her arms when she counted. It's
Nice.
just, like everyone just wanted thumbtacks today. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and new AEW Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa. I started the timer late. I wrote 15:53, but it was late. It was probably around 20 minutes. Like I was 4 or 5 minutes late on that timer. And the crowd did go crazy for her. So I'm very thankful. This was the payoff from the pay-per-view. Like we noted, the pay-per-view kind of was bad, but they brought it all back. This was my match of the night. Like this was by like I wouldn't say by far because like the opener was really good too. But I mean this was just like they had more time. It was I enjoyed this one like way more.
Yeah, I this was definitely a lot better than the pay per view match they had.
It was like 10 times better.
Yeah, I'm so happy we were able to eventually see the match we were all expecting. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was pretty reminiscent of their unsanctioned match. Like, I
Mhm.
think, like, basically almost a year ago exactly. But
Yep.
yeah, it was as real as it needed to be. I really liked the spots where they were just able to use the cage. Uh, Especially the tower of chairs. Granted, I think we've been seeing thumbtacks a little too much. That I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, is this really going to be where they finish things again? But overall, I don't think it was that. I don't think that spot really like took away from the match. I'm just kind of surprised they did it again.
So I do like how when Aubrey came in, the cage door was open, and then I thought to myself, "Oh no, here come Jamie Hayter and Rebel to run interference because the cage door is open, but it never happened. They ended up closing the door. Like, I guess WWE just conditioned me to think that there's always going to be interference no matter what
Yeah,
in every single cage match, which like cage match is supposed to be no interference, and then they're always just like have interference anyway. So like it was nice to see a cage match with like no one actually interfering at all.
yeah, I think that was also why this one was so much better than the pay per view match. Was
Yeah.
that no interference?
Yeah.
And
Payoff was good.
yeah, definitely. Also, when Britt had Thunder Rosa in the lockjaw, it just kind of rang about like, hey, I seen Thunder Rosa like kind of like biting down on the hand, and I was just like, why doesn't
Surprised no
everyone
one
use
else
this?
tries that.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so very, very good match. My match of the night. The three-way tag was a good match as well. And it was decent amount of wrestling this time. I think they had like probably about an hours worth of wrestling, maybe. Let me see, 20, 12, 11, 14, and 9. There you go. Add all those numbers up I just said.
Uh,
I forgot what the numbers were. There were
I
20, 14, 12, 9, close to an hour worth of wrestling on a 2-hour show. So, yes, it's good.
yeah, I definitely think of the shows we've reviewed so far, this one's I
Yeah,
I'm pretty
this one
certain this
was
one's the best.
I mean, there was the one that we didn't review
The
was
one
really
time
good
we
too.
don't review a show and it turned out to be like the best one in a while, and I was like, all right. But yeah, this
Yep.
one was really good. I mean, I guess we should expect that when they do a special event like this.
Yep. All right. So that was the review for St. Patrick's Day Slam. It was a very good show. It definitely umped up the quality from like the previous weeks. I enjoyed it. Uh, didn't see what their lineup was for next week, but I don't think it'll be as good as this one.
Probably.
But like, I mean, this one was a TV special anyway, so.
Yeah, I actually recall the lineup for next week. I think they talked more about it on Rampage, but
Mhm.
we'll get to that. And yeah, next week doesn't look nowhere as good as this week's.
Great. So thanks for listening. That was our review for St. Patrick's Day Slam. This was Miggy Reyes with Smoking Moto.
See you guys next time.